Hey, I'm your host, Joe JDF Foster, and I know I look like something out of the Savage Years, and probably belong in a forest somewhere. But what can I say? I just got too lazy to shave at the moment. Anyways, I'm here to discuss the recent released film on HBO Max and in theaters, Malignant. It's September 10th, 2021 film. Is a horror psychological thriller type film brought to us by John, I want to say Juan or Wayne is how you pronounce his name. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. The creator of the Conjuring series. And now I'm just going to dive right into the good and bad points of the movie, in my view. To me, what was good about this movie is it has a short runtime. It's under 2 hours. So you're not sitting there and it's not long drawn out. The opening credits were more traditional horror type as compared to the old ones. I mean, to what's been done more recently. They explain things within them, such as of the opening scene, it shows you a medical lab being done. I mean, where they're doing a surgery. Well, during the opening credits that follow, they show you an explanation of the files and scenes of operations and experiments that are being done. This film shows how abusive relationships also keep people from their family. How the abuser tends to do that. The special effects and the death scenes in this film are done well. Spatial changes between house and victims' places were done nicely. The blood was done well without being a complete gore fest like you would have seen in the mid-90s and through the early 2000s. The idea of the supernatural being in this movie is amazingly athletic. Also, supernatural being, the supernatural in itself being extreme of something that's actually shown to be really scientific, which is based on the idea of the fetus in fetu, known as the parasitic twin, or the teratoma. Also, which is where a person has teeth, bones, or other body parts in their body, it turns out, as if they were growing another being that they had been absorbed while in utero. There have been many purposes of this actually shown in other things. Tales from the Crypt actually did this when it ran, using Bobcat Goldthwait in an episode where it deals with a ventriloquist called the Ventriloquist Dummy. But it wasn't the only example of this. This one just did better about it in a horror sense than Tales from the Crypt did with the thriller. And this one did with it. I will admit that. This film did better than Tales from the Crypt did with that particular area. Now, the bad parts, the abusive relationship contributes to this so-called haunting. The woman staying in the relationship even after the abuse happening over the years. Yes, it's a truthful thing that happened, sadly. But did it really have to be shown in the film? It seems like it was a bit much. And it took the bean to stop the abuse. The woman's head wound seems like it's underplayed with the amount of blood that's shown. Okay, she sat there after locking the guy out of the house, after locking the guy out of the room, bleeding from the head. She took care of it. Well, then the next thing she knows, she woke up from the nap. She woke up in the middle of the night. There is blood on her bed, on her pillow, from that head wound. And yet, still doesn't think to go to the hospital. This, to me, raises questions because it's a bad thing to show. It was bad enough she didn't go for the head wound itself. But the fact that she didn't go after that, she could have died from that alone. Because brain bleeding is a serious thing, and he pushed her hard enough that it caused the skull to injure and bleed like that. That's a whole nother thing. That's a whole thing right there. That's a lot of force on the head to cause that. But now for my overall sense on this movie, I do actually recommend this film for while it's on HBO Max for the month of September, and even going to the theaters if you can get to it, because I don't know when it's going to be out, officially released. But if you wait till it gets officially released, then get it then, because this film is worth the watch, and it's definitely well done, and I commend the director and the creator and anybody that was involved with this project because it was so well done. Tell me what your thoughts were on this movie. Until next time, I'm out.